Good night. We got Thursday land flipping call. Uh, Tonight's topic is going to be about buyers. All right. But before I get into that, just want to give you guys an update. We got a couple closings that's coming up in July. So shout out to y'all for the ones that brought the deal. Um, and then, I just wanted to talk to you guys about, discipline. Like we gotta lock in. This is, that summertime period, that fall period is usually like spring, summer, fall is when a lot of money is being made in this land flipping business. So we gotta really lock in on what we're doing within the business. Whether you're working with somebody or you're trying to do this as a one-man show, you gotta really lock in. So like if you're focusing on sellers, regardless if you getting leads or not, like you have to call or text every single day. All right. If you're looking for buyers, you got to be reaching out to buyers every single day until you get that one buyer that you connect with. So when you send them deals, they're going to give you criteria back or feedback back. So that's one of the things that I want to talk to you guys that, are doing this as a one-man show. Y'all should be like hyper focus on one specific buyer at the moment, right? So let's say you're a one-man show, you have some VAs that's sending out texts, you have a couple VAs that's cold calling for you. You should be locked in on bringing that buyer as much as possible so you could get feedback back and now you know how to work the specific market that you're looking for that buyer for. All right. And the ones that are JV, working with me or other people in the group, you should be hyper focused on whatever that is. So if you're looking for sellers, you should be cold calling every single day. Like we need to really hyper focus and lock in on this land business because goes back to what I've been telling you guys. This allows us to buy more Satoshis, which is going to buy us more time freedom in the future. All right. So one thing I wanted to speak on today is how can we work together even more? Like, goes back to that quote that I always say, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. My goal is to close a deal with every single one of you guys, whether on the seller side or the buyer side. So we're just trying to figure out different strategies that would allow us to be more efficient and effective. All right. And the way to do that is to break this business down. You have to dissect this business. And what I mean by that is there's a acquisition side, there's a disposition side. Acquisition side is reaching out to vacant landowners. Disposition side is reaching out to buyers. So on the acquisition side, we, open up that dialed in program. Shout out to the people that, invested, taking that leap of faith, uh, in joining us. And you guys are going to hyper focus on sellers, right? We want as many people on that program. So all you new people that's just getting into this land space, we go back years ago, a lot of people that y'all even probably see now that's closing deals, they started from cold calling on my Mojo dialer. I've closed a lot of deals, but now I want to take it up another level. I want to take over this game. And I don't say that like selfishly. I want us to take over this game. Every one of us that's in this group. And the way we could do that is if we work together. All right. So I need some of you guys focus on the seller side, but I'm gonna also need some of you guys focus on the buyer side. So what I've been thinking on the buyer side is, and I'm gonna share my screen. On the buyer side, what I want you guys to do is hyper focus, laser focus on counties, acres, and realtors right now. So the strategy I want you guys to do, and this is not for everybody. If you focusing on sellers, stay hyper focused on sellers for now, right? I don't want to give you too many different things because now your mind is going to focus on too many different things. So if you focusing on the seller side, focus on that for now. But those ones that, you know, maybe not good at the seller side, I need you to work the buyer side. So with the buyer side, let's go to Redfin. Now, we have many exit options. We work with buyers, we work with realtors. All right. So when we, work in deals in Florida, we could get it sold a lot quicker than we can, let's say, in North Carolina, Texas, Colorado, things like that. So I'm gonna focus on Florida for now. Now, I'm gonna put a specific county. So let's say Bay County, Florida, right? I'm just picking a random county. All right. So what I want to do is land. This is being recorded, and I'll post the recording as well. Okay, so we got land, and then we want to go to sold. Let's do the last 3 months. That's okay. All right, so we got land sold last 3 months. Let's see if they give us other filters that allow us to put like certain lot size, acres, things like that. So I'm gonna scroll down here. Square footage, perfect. Lot size. Let's look at minimum 2 acres. So 2 acres above. Okay. So we have a couple lots. Now, what I want y'all to do is, hold on. 2.5 acres lands for sale. Okay, this is for sale. I want to see what's sold. Okay. So let me scroll. Sold. Okay. Scroll down. Now, boom. What I want y'all to do, and this is extremely important, so I hope y'all paying attention. Now, on Redfin, it gives you the buyer's agent. So, bought with Jennifer, right? Jennifer Bowman. What I want you guys to do is research the buyer's agent. I want you to call them and I want you to build a relationship with each buyer's agent. And from the conversation you have with the buyer's agent, I want you to send me, just like with the seller leads, I want you to send it in ClickUp. So whatever that conversation you had with the seller, I mean with the buyer's agent, and the key is what we want to do is we want to reverse engineer what we typically do, but just do it a little bit different, a little tweak. So what I mean by that is we want to figure out who she knows, who is her connect, right? Because these buyers agents, they have the buyers. They know the buyers in this county or area. That's how they got this lot sold. So we want to know her connections. How do we find out her connections? By building a relationship with her, by letting her know, hey, I work for a land investment company. We do direct to seller marketing. I just wanted to reach out to you to, potentially partner up. Any buyers that you have that's looking for land in Bay County, um, you know, I want to search for them and bring you the deal to see if you could list it or if you could get it sold. So the most important part is letting her know that we're trying to close more deals with her. And the way to do that is by reaching out to her and building that relationship and then going down the list of lots or land that's sold, 2 acres up. So it's going to be a lot of different land and reach out to all these buyers. Now, when you send me the buyers, you're going to send it through ClickUp. right? So boom. So go to buyer's criteria. You're going to send it to my clicker form. And very similar to sellers, the conversation you have with her, it might take two or three conversations for her to give you, or maybe two conversations to her to feel real comfortable to give you all the information. The first phone call is really an introduction, just letting her know what you do. So if you had to put it in like bulletin points, is an introduction of who you are, letting her know what you do, and how you could serve her. How can we serve her? I want to bring you more deals. So I know you have a list of buyers. I seen that you were a buying agent for a couple deals. What is your buyers looking for so I could bring it to you and see if your buyer will buy? And now you're getting commission off of that, right? My goal is to bring you 3 to 4 deals a month. And now she's going to send you that information and you'll just put all the information here. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is important with them working together is because now you send me this buyer. Now I'm going to have my virtual assistants hyper focus on what your buyer needs, your buyer agent needs, right? So let's say you tell me, hey, you put Eli, hey, I spoke to Jennifer, da da da. She said she needed what, 10 acres of land that's agricultural, that they could build whatever or do whatever, right? Now I'm gonna have my virtual assistants hyper focus on that. They're gonna virtual draw for dollars. I'm gonna create the list, and then the people that we have on Mojo, right? The people that's gonna be hunting the deals, the cold callers, they're gonna find the deals, and now we're gonna close deals together like that. All right. So um, what I was thinking, and like I was telling the people that just joined the cold calling program, I have to go back to the 70-30 split. And the reason being for that is because I don't want no confusion within, deals that come through. And then also the buyer side has to get paid. So if you have a buyer, we're going to have to pay the buyer's agent, right? We're going to have to eat as well. So for the buyers, we're going to use them more times than we use sellers. So for the seller side, it's still that 70-30, right? But on the buyer side, we're gonna do 15%. And the only reason why we doing 15% is because it is much easier to find a buyer than it is to find a deal. So, and then we are going to use that buyer as many times. So, like with me, the buyer, I post his criteria every month. I've closed probably over 250 deals with him, right? They paid me over $1 million in assignment fees over this last 5 years. So once we have that buyer or that good buyer's criteria, we're going to use him multiple times. So this is how you could get paid basically passive income by bringing us a buyer and us utilizing that buyer nonstop, consistently. Does that make sense for y'all? You could speak right in the chat if this is making sense for y'all. Okay, perfect.
It's making sense.
All right, so I'm gonna call this lady up. Where's she at? Just so y'all could get an example. Let's see if it was this late. See if she picks up. But my goal, right? Before I call this lady up, I just want to let y'all know my vision, my goal, right? Because if I let y'all know my goal, and if you guys could attach to my goal or attach to my plan, we can make it together, right? It goes back to the quote. If you want to go fast, if you want to be that one man show and be fast, that's cool. Some of us might take that route. But if you want to make consistent money, if you want to be doing this, years down the road and work within the team, let's go far together. Right. So I don't care about getting 100% on every deal. I went that route and it was very stressful. I made good money, but I was very stressed, you know? And I want to build this company around working with you guys. So every deal I close, you guys are eating a part of it, whether it's from the seller side or the buyer side. And this will allow us to work as unity within this group. So deals that we see we closing, like we know, oh, Luis was a part of that side, Bethany was a part of this side, and then Alicia just found the deal. Then you get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to do with you guys. All right. So this may, fit. Some of you guys may be really good on speaking to sellers. Some of you guys may be really good at connecting with buyers and buyers agents. So I want you to do your strong suit, which you could provide for the group and put your 100% focus on. And now this is how we could get more deals as a team. All right. Instead of being competition with each other, let's collaborate to get more deals and then take over this whole Florida map and do the same strategy in different areas. That's the goal. And now we're taking over the United States. So let me call Jennifer real quick, see if I could build a relationship with her. And then we'll end tonight's call with that. And then I want you guys, like I said, that's your homework. Got to give y'all homework. We grown, but we still got to get homework and do the same thing. And then, like I said, once you send me that criteria of what their buyer is looking for, I'm immediately building with my team. We virtual and drive for dollars. We put in that list and we putting in Mojo. And now the salespeople, we calling, we hunting for that. All right. So let me get to calling because I could talk. And then Alicia, I'm gonna allow y'all to ask questions at the end. So after this.
That was an accident. My bad.
Okay. Then you don't want to talk to me?
Not at the moment. In a little bit, though. I do have a question for later.
All right, bet. Sounds good. All right. I'm not sure if this is her number. I want to call her directly. I don't want to call her office open 24/7. Let me see if she picks up. 258-1509. All right. Like I told you, I like to stand up when I talk.
EDB real estate. I'm not able to get to the phone at the moment, but please leave your name and number, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hi, Jennifer. My name is Elijah. I was actually calling because I seen that you were the buying agent for land in Bay County. I was just wondering, or I was just reaching out to see if we could build a relationship. I work for a land investment firm and we come across land deals all the time. And I was wondering if I find any deals, if I could bring it to you and see if your buyer will want it, and then we could work a deal together. If this sounds like something you want to do, please give me a call back at 813-389-8534. Talk to you soon. Have a blessed day. Bye. Boom. All right. So she didn't pick up. And then we go down the list. Because we want all these buyers. These is random lands. And as you guys know, if you did start calling any of the lists I gave you, it'd be random lots that look like this. You get what I'm saying? So if we could find a buyer that's buying these type of lots, or a buyer's agent, or they could give us some type of information on what they're looking for, we could hyper focus on that. We could cold call, we could send out text, and then we could send mail. And then we do that, you know, a JV partner is getting uh money for finding a deal, you getting money for bringing the buyer's agent and the buyer. And then, we closing deals together. So if we could continue doing that cycle, month by month, year by year. And then, like I was telling you guys, with the cold calling system, if you guys become good at this, it ain't nothing to train somebody and then get them on my mojo too. I got 50, 60 plus lists. And if we become good at this strategy, I don't mind investing as much as possible and getting as many lists to get more deals. You get what I'm saying? Like I want it to be where this academy we closing, 10, 15, 20, 30 deals a month, straight JVs. Like we could do that. We have the ability to do that. We have the amount of people, we have the numbers, and y'all know this is a numbers game, right? You're gonna have to talk to 1,000, 100 people to get, two deals, three deals, right? Now you speak to 1,000 people. Now you speak to 10,000 people within the group, or you train virtual assistants, or you train a friend of yours. Now we all on the dialer. Like my goal, and this, like, I'm a visionary. I'll be thinking big. At one point, I used to spend 3,500 on Mojo. I want to start spending, and when I'm say spending, I'm saying like in terms of investing in Mojo with the amount of dollars that I had on previously. I want to get it to the point where the dialer, we have so many people on the dialer that, I'm spending 10,000, 20,000 a month just for Mojo because I know we're going to be bringing nonstop deals if we all on Mojo and we all calling. And then the people that's bringing the buyers, we're bringing them deals. You're getting that 15%, but you're getting that 15% on a daily basis because once you find that one buyer, that's all we need, right? We closing with that buyer nonstop. Then you find another buyer, we closing with that buyer. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, do y'all feel the money coming in? That's what I need y'all to feel. Do y'all feel the money in your pocket? Because once you feel the money in your pocket, you're gonna have that motivation that you need to get started. And all you have to do after that is just stay disciplined. If you stay consistent, you're gonna get something. And I promise you, with these acres list that's on
Larry.
Mojo, if y'all can mute your mic, with these acres list that's on Mojo, these are going to be home run deals. Like home run deals. Deals where it's like that one deal, even if you're getting 30, 15%, it's going to be enough to put you in a very good position. And then you do another one, then another one, then another one. Remember, we got infill in there too. So you calling infill. Now you working with that buyer, that infill list. We got the buyer for that already, and we got the list on there. The Palm Bays, the Spring Hills. So you calling those lists, you getting the little 2, 3, 4K deals, but you getting those big deals too, working within the group. All right. So that's really my vision that I have with you guys moving forward. And I'm showing you guys this because I want you guys to implement this strategy because I want to reach out to every single county. Like what I'm doing right now, I hope, a couple of you guys are watching. There's 17 people in this room. I hope y'all start tomorrow. I want y'all to start calling these buyers agents tomorrow because they might not pick up now, 7:30, dinner time or whatever. But tomorrow in the morning, you could be building those relationships now. Send it to me and click up. I'll have my VAs immediately virtual and driving for dollars based off the criteria that you get from Cindy Schwartz, right? And now the people that just signed up for the dial-in program, they are calling those lists. They're calling, they're calling. They find the deal, they get paid. You find the buyer, you get paid. And I get paid for putting everything together. And now we wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. All right. Like I said, I could talk a lot, so let me get to calling Cindy Schwartz now. And then just want to have probably one conversation just so y'all can see what that conversation would be like. And then we'll go from there. And before I stop, before I forget, actually, the people that signed up for the dial in program, we're not gonna have the 8 p.m. call tonight. after this, Tylil, he said he had to handle some business basically. So we won't do that this week, but we'll probably get on sometime, next week, before next week Thursday's call, because I do want you guys to get some type of training from Tylil as you guys are calling. All right. So on the how should I say this? Moving forward, every Thursday at 8 p.m., if he is available, he will be getting on a call with you guys in the dial-in program, and he'll be working with you guys on speaking to sellers. As you guys know, Tylil is probably one of the best in the group at speaking to, these vacant land owners. So you guys will be listening to him make calls on Saturday with Brandon, but you guys that chose to invest in the dial-in program, he'll be training you guys in a group setting on how to speak to these landowners so we could close as many deals possible. All right. So, like I said, I need each one of you guys with a million satoshis, right? So I want the way to do that, the way to guarantee we all get to at least a million satoshis is if we work together. All right. So that's what we're doing now within the academy. Like I said, if you invest in a dial-in program, Thursdays at 8 p.m., not this week, but moving forward, Thursdays, 8 p.m. after this call will be our sales coaching call. All right. Let me see if I could find her number. Boom. Cindy Schwartz, what was her? It's crazy. I'm starting to get a headache. Which lot was it? Wasn't this one? Let me delete this one. All right, so Cindy Schwartz, Blue Coral Real Estate Group. Let's see, Blue Coral Real Estate Group. All right. We get a drink first. We about to make a lot of money in this game. Watch. Mark my words. Mark my words. I'm gonna close a lot of deals with y'all. Hi, I'm looking for Cindy.
This is she.
Hey, Cindy, my name is Elijah. How you doing? I'm doing fine as well. I'm actually reaching out. I seen that you were the buying agent for land in Bay County, and I was wondering if your buyer was looking for more. I work for a land investment firm, and we do direct to seller marketing in Bay County for land at the moment. We're, texting, cold calling. So I was wondering if I come across any deals, if your buyer will be interested, or if you would be interested.
So you have sellers, because I have listings. I don't have anybody that's actually buying. I just have people selling.
Oh,
So-
gotcha.
Yeah, so I've got one listing that's 320 acres, but it's actually in Jackson County.
Okay.
And I don't have a buyer at the moment. I'm sorry. I wish I did.
No, it's completely okay. I just seen, like I said, I seen that you were the buying agent, so I thought, you probably had a couple in your back pocket. Do you have any in that Jackson County?
No, Jackson County is, I don't know where you're calling from, but it's a completely different animal than Bay County.
Okay.
Yeah, Bay County is more tourist oriented because of the beach and whatnot. So it is getting pretty crowded out there too.
Do you see a lot of land selling over there?
Yeah, well, what's happening in Bay County? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Tampa, Florida, but we buy and sell land everywhere. So
Yeah, okay. Beach, which is Bay County, but at the beach, what's happening, St. Joe Paper Company, which they're not really much in the paper business anymore because they closed most of their plants, but they have thousands of acres all over the entire state, but most of it's in North Florida. So they started developing it. So they donated the land for the new airport that we have up here. And so they're doing developments all the way around the airport. And so all of that property is going to tract builders. So we have tons of D.R. Horton developments all over the place now, and they're still buying land. Fisher Homes is buying land. The tract builders, they're coming in buying
And they're
pieces of land.
are they buying land that's raw, or do they need to have utilities?
Yeah, no. The tract builders, so they got their own subdivision plats. So they just, because they go in and cram them in there, so you see that.
So-
Art.
So
They
if
were doing it before we were. So, anywho, that's what's going on. And this week we had, or no, last week we opened Top Golf. And 2 weeks prior to that, Dolly Parton opened her pirate dinner theater thing. So, and then the entire month of June and July, we have the softball tournaments for kids. So we have an extra 250, 300,000 people that show up in June and July for that. So anyway, so it's gotten really busy at the beach. So
I got a question for you.
yeah,
If I come across anything that I would say or I think is a deal, do you mind if I run it by you and then potentially you could list it for me?
sure. No problem. I
Okay.
mean, I've lived here since 1973. So
Gotcha. Yeah, you know the area.
I'm a Floridian. I was born 50 miles from here a very long time ago, so I know this area very well.
Nice.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so anyway, the big pieces of land that are in city limits are being taken up pretty fast, and so they're having to stretch out into the county. So where they put the airport was on the north end of the county, which obviously when they built it, there was nothing there, but that's all changing. They did, St. Joe put in Margaritaville, which is a 55 plus community. And it's a whole city within itself. It's like the beginning of what the Villages was.
Yeah.
It's just getting started.
Wow.
So their intention is to do 9 town centers with 3,000 homes per town center. That's what their plan is.
Gotcha. So what area exactly in Bay County would be a good area for me to look for? And send out a couple cold calls, text messages, with offers, which would be like a good area to focus on.
Because the beach is so popular now, the prices are going up over there. So you would have to go and see, we got 2 military bases here. So Tyndall is to the south and the east of the county, so it stops there. So you have nowhere to go there. So really you'd have to go north of town. So that would be north on Highway 231, 77, or 79. So those are the only 3 highways we have going north out of the county. So it'd have to be one of those.
Okay, you said north 239, you said, or 231?
Highway 231 or Highway 77 or Highway 79. Those are the 3 highways that go out of town that go north. And those are the only ones. I mean, there are no others. Because if you go east, you're going to hit the Air Force Base. And if you go west, you're going to hit the beach.
Gotcha.
There's pretty much nothing left at the beach. Well, I mean, there's property out there, but you're going to pay 5 times the price.
Yeah, top dollar. I want to catch those upcoming areas where I guess, the seller probably doesn't know that is up and coming booming, and,
Yeah.
come across any deals that we could find over there. Right. So
But husband has a development that he has a development order on, but I'm in my late 60s and he's about to turn 80, and we're not going to develop it because we're trying to retire more. But it's 11 acres and it's at the beach. It's on it's right off of Highway 98 on the beach, but it's already platted subdivision with the landfill and the drainage pond and everything. It's platted and the whole thing. So we want to sell that project for 1.9. So
Okay.
if you know anybody that might want to buy that,
All right. Well, I could definitely.
it's not. So it's.
Are you
it's
guys
on-
planning on keeping it off market?
Yeah, because here's the thing. It's got a development order on it. So if we put it in MLS, that's going to mess up our development order.
Oh, okay.
So we
So,
need to sell it as a pocket listing.
so if a buyer was to come in and was interested, is this some
Say, Jenna, commission.
okay? Is this something that is kind of like already set for him to develop? Like, would he be able to start immediately?
It's ready to go. It's been cleared. All the fill dirt's been brought in. The addressers are signed. The driveways permits are done. The utilities have already looked at it. It's already got the stormwater drainage pond dug. It's ready to go.
Okay, so with this specific deal, because I'm not looking to make a home run on every deal. Like, even if I could get a small commission on a deal and get it sold, I'm glad for those as well. In terms of the 1.9 million, uh, how did you come about with that price?
So we have the land, obviously, it's 11 acres. So, and at the beach, and it's on the road that connects to all those sports parks where they have all those ball tournaments.
Okay.
And we have it platted for 16 townhome units that are like duplexes, but they're townhomes that have 3 bedroom, 3 bath. So they could be sold as units to live in, or they could be full-time rental, or they could be short-term rentals.
Okay. So I'll bring it to. I know the star running back for the New Orleans Saints, Alvin Kamara, and he buys a lot of land out in New Orleans. So I'll run this by him. He may be interested. He's developing over there. So this may be something that he may be interested. But like I said, they're probably gonna want a little bit of a discount. So this will be something that we will have to run the numbers, and if it makes sense, maybe we could strike a deal like that as well.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have an active Florida license?
No, so I work for a land investment firm. Like I told you, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with assignments. That's usually what we do, but now we're getting into the space of buying them and then just reselling them, double close, or we'll buy it, list it on the market, things like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
That, I mean, it's ready to go. It's got engineer drawings, it's got blueprints from the architect for the units, it's got everything. So it's ready to rock and roll. So
Okay, and is this property under your name?
it's in my husband's name, it's in his trust. It's on the road that it's on is called Wildwood Road. So it's in Panama City Beach. Well, it's technically in the county, but it's at the beach. It's on the other side of the bridge. It's right next door to a development that my husband actually was a partner in called Dolphin Bay subdivision, which is on the bay, and it has a 64 slip marina in it. And this property was actually phase 5 of that development, but he took it out of the HOA, so you don't have to deal with the HOA.
Okay, gotcha. That's even better.
Yes.
All right, so
Meetings to get all this stuff put together.
yeah, I was like, you know a lot about this deal, so
This a while. I'm actually I'm a real estate agent, but I'm a retired mortgage lender. So I've been in the banking business for 35 years.
Wow. Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, so I've dealt with builders and, spec houses and developments and the whole bit.
Yeah, that's nice. So I'm just trying to, work a couple of deals with you, see if we could get this lot sold and, see how we could work together. I'm with the collaboration. So if
Okay.
I'll send this to a couple buyers as, I'm reaching out to more agents as well to see if they have buyers that we could work with. Maybe one of them may have a buyer for this deal. So I'll look into that. I just have one last question. For this land on Wildwood Road, do you know the name of the trust? So, because I want to look it up.
Yeah, it's in my husband's name, Carlton Schwartz. SCHWARTZ.
Okay, perfect. Because
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look it up on the property appraiser site. I'm gonna send him the details, the link of it. We'll, probably look at it from a street view picture, online, see if this is something that they will be interested in, move forward from there, based on what they say.
So see, it's not gonna, I'm looking on a property appraiser, it's not gonna come up like that. Let me look at a different way. Hang on a
And then
second.
maybe you could even text me the link. That would be even better.
Okay, it's under, my husband's a retired dentist, so it's under Daddy Doc LLC, Wildwood Road. So, let me see, I'm on the property appraiser site. Let me see if I can share this from
Okay.
here. Well, let me do this. Let me give you the partial ID number.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
You got something right on?
Yes, ma'am.
It's 27339 dash 020 dash 000.
Got
So
it.
it shows 10.9 acres. Now what it's not going to show is all the stuff that's been done to it because these pictures are not up to date. But I did get some aerial photographs done. And again, those were done prior to the work being done, so you're not going to see that on those photographs either. But this will give you an idea where it's at
Perfect.
because it's right off of the bay, and you can see the subdivision that's on the bay with the marina.
All right. And then if I have any other questions, I could give you a call back.
Yep. And then over to the left of the property, you can see all the sports park complex. It's pretty easy to see on the map, on the aerial, because it's a pretty big place. So you'll see that when you pull it up.
Okay.
So,
Okay, I see it. I'm on the property appraiser site right now, and it popped up. So, like I said, I'll send this over to him. Oh no, this looks nice. Wow.
yeah, it's
It has road access,
yeah.
and then
Gonna happen if you look at that road that's in front of it. That road is paved road till it gets to the curve there in the back, and then they're going to connect it to this park. So that's going to happen in the next year or two. It's
So-
already DOT's already got it on the books.
so my question to you would be, do you know what houses are selling for in this area?
Okay, so it's because you got the bayfront, so they're million, 2, 3, whatever, they're million plus. So you got those on the bay, and then some of the other ones that are off the bay are like 8, 900. So they're kind of all over the place.
Gotcha.
And then you've got a condo complex down there too. That's probably, I guess that condo complex is about maybe.
How far is this from the water?
If you scroll on your screen there, you can see the bay right there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it is. Nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'll send this to a couple of the agents that I speak to moving forward. And then, like I said, I'll send it to him as well, see if he would be interested. And if I do have any questions, I'll give you a call back. And if I come across any deals as well, I'll send them over to you as well and see if we can make money like that as well.
Okay. Thanks for the call.
Yes, ma'am. You have a great night.
You too.
Bye. Perfect. See? Just a relationship business. Who knows what this could lead to? She owns this. I actually wanted to put this on Propstream real quick because I want to see, because I seen that they bought it for 1.1 million. So who knows? It might be a good price at 1.9. I'll try to sell it for 2 million, 2.3. What really matters with this land is what these houses are selling for. Because if she said that they could build 16 homes on this land, then it depends on what those houses will sell for the buyer. Now let me hold on. Put this address real quick in PropStream. Why is that address not coming up? And I want to just put a random address because I could look at neighboring lots. So 809 Port Poise Court. So you see how reaching out to her, even though she didn't have a buyer per se, still was able to get a potential lead from speaking to her. So that's why it's important with this business that you're speaking to people consistently, just because you never know what might come about from that conversation. So now we're gonna go to neighboring lots. Scroll down. Oh. And then after this, we're gonna answer Alicia's question or any other question y'all may have, and then we'll call it a night. So this is the lot right here, or the land, I should say. 11 acres. The 100K deal this year or next year. And this is gonna happen. We gonna make this happen. So uh it is on the MLS. Oh, they took it off. So they listed it for 795 2022, and it sat for 1,000 days. So that's not a good sign. That means they probably just took it off recently. But anywho, let's look at this. Vacant land, cash buyer, boom. We see that. Now, none of those is close to 1 million. These are recently cash comps. So we want to go to neighboring lots. And now when we go to neighboring lots, we want to look at vacant land. Now, these lots could be sold, years ago, 10 years ago, 3 years ago. But really what I'm looking for is anything sold in $1 million next to it. And then what type of land that lot is that sold for millions of dollars. So, boom, 2.2 million commercial vacant land. Let's see how big it is. 223 square feet compared to 474, which is good. It's a good sign. The thing is, it's commercial. So let's see where this lot and what does it look like. So this is this, guess. Let's click it. Why did they buy this for 2.1 million? That's the question. 'Cause if they buying this for 200, 2 million, shit, they might buy that one for 2 point something. Who knows? Boom. It's just a long strip. So I know immediately this is going to be the first buyer that I reach out to and see if they will want to buy it. But I really just want to figure out why before I even call them. Why did they even buy this? This doesn't even look like $2.2 million worth or 2.1. Uh, so are you just link properties? They have 37. Boom. Are they just always looking for commercial? Oh, so they are buying residential, which is good, but this is in Georgia. I want to see what you buying in Panama City, or are these all commercial? Bakerland General, Panama City, that's a good sign. Highway 22. She said Highway 231, 77, and 79 are the popping highways. And that's another thing. You always want to have a book when you're speaking to these sellers and buyers because you may not be able to write. I mean, with at least with me, it helps me write down my thoughts or notes on what they say. I love to write down notes because the next time I speak to either the seller or the buyer, I want to have an update on our previous conversation. So this allows me to build rapport with them. This allows me to build trust with them. Once I have trust with them, this allows me to provide them leads with confidence. Confidence, once you have confidence in this game, you start honestly spending a lot more money in marketing. Like, to be honest, I don't want money just sitting in the bank. I want money working for me, right? So if I'm not, I have money for investments, and then I have money that I'm strictly planning on investing in my business, right? So I have those two completely different, but now I know with this money in the business, I need to, either hire more people, right? I have to invest in more dialers. I have to invest in more REI cash system to send more texts. As I told you guys, I have 3 REI caches. I had 5 at one point, but I have 3 now where we send out texts, before we put into the Mojo dialer. So I this is how I'm allowed or able to scale my business. So you want to keep putting the money out there because the more money you invest in your business, it's gonna bring a return. It might not happen exactly the time you want it to, but once you have that confidence to consistently invest, eventually you're gonna yield that result. So this is definitely going to be the buyer that I reach out to. So let me go up here. Let me save his information. And this is why I know you guys want to save money and get prop wire, but this is what I love about Propstream. Like, you could, what's this? Panama City acres buyer for Wildwood Road. And now this would be something, and then I love to date it as well. What are we, July 3rd? I hope you guys have a great and safe night tomorrow for July 4th. Make sure y'all safe. I need you guys, right? Need y'all to be healthy. Need y'all to be safe because we're gonna make millions together, right? So, yeah. All right, so now we got that person saved. So this is gonna be a person LLC that I reach out to tomorrow. All right. I'm gonna save that for another call, but this was great experience and practice for you guys to see. But to just kind of backtrack, we're going on Redfin, we're putting a county. There's over 100 counties in Florida. A list of all the counties in Florida. So why not take over all these areas? We have all of these counties, y'all. We're not gonna step on each other's toes, right? We have so many opportunities to go through. So I want you guys to pick a county, put it on Redfin, look for the land that's sold. I want you guys to call buyer's agents, let them know what you do, right? Or introduce yourself, let them know what you do and how you could serve them, right? How you could collaborate with them. Our main goal when we reach out to these buyer's agents is to find out their buyer's criteria so we could bring it to them and we could work a deal with them. All right. So even though she didn't have a buyer for, us to work on, it still allowed us to get a potential deal. So that's another thing that's beautiful about this game. You might be calling for one reason and you might get blessed with a whole different thing, right? Who knows? This could possibly be that six-figure deal that I've been talking about, right? So I need y'all to like really, like I said in the beginning, lock in. This is that time to lock in. A lot of you new people, this is you coming in at a great time, right? Like you got access to me. You got access to the system that I use. You got access to the group, the community. Utilize that. Let's work together. Let's close more deals and let's make this money so we could buy more Bitcoin, buy more Satoshis, buy more XRP. And within 5 years, we're all living a way different life. A lot of you guys, if you knew me 5 years ago, you kind of would be surprised where I'm at right now. Like moving to Florida, this was completely different. I was not in the high rise. I was not living this lifestyle. I was door dashing, you know. Yeah, I ain't gonna go down that rabbit hole, but things change very quick. All you need to do really is to have that one good year that could change the next 10 years of your life. And I want this year or 2026, because we got 6 more months until then. This is literally our foundation. But 2026, y'all, we gonna take over. We gonna keep working on this principle, this system, because this is what this is. This is now a system, right? This is a system that I was working by myself, but now I'm working it with you guys. So now you guys are within my system, like really in the trenches with me right now. And I love it because we're all at different stages in our real estate journey, but we're all working together for one cause. And once these deals start coming through, I promise you, like we're gonna be living different. So I want you guys to rewatch this video if you were looking to, look for buyers. And then for the people that, still like confused on where they should do or what they should do, join the dial in program. Like stop eating out, stop going out and lock in. Invest in that dial in program. I'm gonna put the list in there and you're gonna cold call. You're gonna come across so many deals. We're gonna close many deals together. And then the other side, the people that find the buyers, lock in. Send me as much buyers criteria. Because after we take over Florida, after we go over every county in Florida, we gonna take over North Carolina next. Then we're gonna take over Colorado. Then we're gonna do the same play, the same strategy in every state. All right. The goal, we have 7 people on Mojo right now. I want to get it to 15, 20 by the end of this month. So if you have the money to invest, I'm taking a hit for every person that comes on, but it's okay. Cause I know once y'all start closing deals, I'm gonna make it back in those deals that's closed. So make that investment because I'm investing in you as well. Right? One hand wash the other, both hand wash the face. All right. So Alicia, let's answer your question before I end it tonight.
Yeah, quick question. You might have already mentioned it, but on the Mojo dialer, what list specifically should I be calling?
On Mojo,
Yeah.
let's go to Mojo right now. All right. So before we do that, shout out to y'all, Malkia, Davion, who else? Whoever JS is. Shout out to y'all for cold calling today. All right. Now, before that, boom. Now, like I said, these are going to be the 3/20/25 lists. So you could call any of these lists, any of these lists. You could call any of these infill lists. But what I would say is when this new buyer's criteria comes out on the 7th, this is how you could work it, right? This could be your strategy when you're cold calling under my system. The first 5 days of the month, or the first 7 days of the month, rather. Got too many tabs. Leave some of these. Cindy Schwartz. Hold on. Write her name. See, this is the thing sometimes. I want to save her number too. Damn, what was her number? 85, the 624. Okay. Cindy Schwartz, Land Realtor, Bay County. All right, boom. Because I think her land might be a deal. It might be with the right buyer. It's a deal. All right. So what was I saying? Mojo Dialer. Okay. Boom. So let's say the first 5 days, first 7 days of the month. Remember, if you pay attention, patterns, right? On the 7th day of the month, my buyer sends me the criteria for the month. So what did he send me? On the 7th, or he actually sent it the 9th, last month. So he sent me this: Port St. Lucie, Sebastian, Vero Lakes, Point Siena, Northport. He usually doesn't look in Northport, but he was looking that month. It's up to Anthony. So he went up on the price in, I believe this is Palm Bay. Oh no, this was Vero Lakes. And then he sent me another one because he was looking for these before he goes on vacation. So the first couple days of the month, you could go based on what they was looking the previous month. So you could go to Mojo, you could go to the 2025 list. You got the Homosassa, excuse me, Royal Highlands. Scroll down, scroll down. You got the Point Siena, then you got the Sebastian. So you could call any of these lists and then potentially get a deal, send it to the ClickUp, and by the 7th of the month or the 9th, we'll just send it to him once he sends the new criteria, and it might be a deal right away. So that's how a lot of you guys, I closed a lot of deals with you guys that's within the academy, either old members or members that's still with us today from these specific lists with this specific buyer. So you could be calling this in the beginning of the month, and then after, let's say they fill up within the first 4 to 5 days, this is where you could now hyper focus on the counties, right? So you could focus on the 2025 acres county, or you could focus on the 25 acres up, because this is 25 acres plus. So we have all those lists on here as well. And then let's say, we get multiple people in the dialer. We got 20, 25 people on the dialer. All these lists been called. You could always go back to the old list too. because a lot of these aren't fully all called as well. So let's say my buyer was looking, let's say, and some of these even Hastings, right? This list was called 4 times. This is a list that you like listen 3 times. I tell people you want to once you see this over 12, then it's not a good list no more because it's been called so many times. But at 3 times, you could still probably squeeze a deal or two from these lists. So we have so many different lists. All right. So same thing, Indian Lake Estates. I have lists all over Florida. So if you under my system, you don't have to worry about investing or spending money on skip tracing because we have lists almost everywhere in almost every state. We have lists for days. All right. So the goal is, pick a list and remember, we're not offering on the first phone call. If they want to give their price, perfect. That's good. But we're not making our offer on the first phone call. You're just seeing if they're interested. You're gonna ask them a couple questions. Is the lot well and septic, or what were their plans on when they bought the lot, things like that. But you're also going to let them know, like, hey, I want to give you a fair cash offer. Let me run this by my land acquisitions team because we don't buy every property we come across or we reach out to. I just want to make sure that this is fair for you and for us as well. So I'll give you a call back tomorrow at 3 p.m. With our official offer. How does that sound? Boom. Now you send the click up to me. I'll check it, within that time frame, give you what to offer. Now you're making that offer. Now you're going to repeat that process because you might have, let's say you speak to 10 people today, right? So you should be sending me 10 ClickUps on what to offer for these lots. I'll give you each number to offer. The next day you're calling those people and now you're giving those 10 offers. But while you're also giving those 10 offers, after you call those people, you're also getting back on the dialer to repeat that process again. Now I need 10 more people or 15 people to send to ClickUp. And the more people you do that with, the more likely you're going to get a deal, right? The more conversations you have in this business, the more likely you're going to get a deal. Like the deal could be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10, 15, right? It don't matter. But let's get as many deals as possible going. Because once you start getting that 1, 2 deals, 3 deals a month, you're gonna gain that confidence to start really putting more energy into this, looking to hire more people. Like I said, my goal is for you guys to build a business within my business. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? The dial in program, you could just fill out another one, right? Now you have an employee working within this business. You paying them hourly, but we're breaking bread commission. So while you paying them hourly, you still making more money, but you're also gaining more time. Goes back to what I be telling y'all. We have 24 hours a day naturally, but if you have people working with you or you're working with people, you really have more hours. For example, those people that cold call today, they put 2 hours, an hour, 2 hours in the dialer. I think it was like 3 people. If each one of those put an hour in, I just gained, or not saying I in a selfish way, but the team just gained 3 more hours, right? So let's say you close a couple deals with me. Now you want to reinvest in yourself. Okay, I'm gonna get another dialer on Eli's system. I'm gonna, put my virtual assistant or employee on because I trained them good. Don't just get somebody on that's not going to be good because you're going to be wasting money. And then me too. Remember, each one of y'all, I'm paying $60 for. So Mojo technically is 160 a month, right? You have to pay for your own profile, which is $10, and then the dialer is 150. So if you guys are paying 100, I'm covering that 60 for each one of you guys. That adds up, right? So I want to go up. I don't want to go down. So all I would ask is you guys to really train whoever you're getting on the dialer, right? And now you just gained another however many hours. So let's say you have a virtual assistant that you're paying on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis. And now they're giving you 8 hours a day. Now you just gained 8 more hours while you're putting hours into the dialer as well. And now you building a whole team within my, dialer system. And now we're breaking bread. You paying them on a flat fee, or not a flat fee, but on a hourly wage, two, three, $5 an hour, whatever that is. But you're also now making those commission checks, commission 30%, 30%, 30%, 30% on every deal. That's going to add up. It's going to be way more than the hours that they're putting in. So you're building a whole cold calling system within this cold calling system. I don't want to call it a pyramid, but it's kind of like that, right? It's this Mojo Dollar, you're adding a branch and then you're adding on to your tree, right? We have enough list on this dialer for all of us to be cold calling for 3 years. You feel me? Like if we call every single seller in all these different areas, bro. I know there's $1 million in here, multiple millions. I feel like it's multiple millions. If we was about to close a multi-million-dollar deal on the Martin County list, and that's one of the acres lists that I want you guys to focus on because I do have a buyer over there. So Martin County, we almost made multiple millions off of one seller, one island on this list, right? So imagine what else is out there with all these lists. Imagine you calling the buyer's agent, right? You just found a buyer agent in St. Lucie County that's looking for whatever, and you call this person up and he's the exact thing that he's looking for, and we got the price. And now all we did was connect the dots, play matchmaker. And all you had to do, right? You didn't have to build out your own buyers. You didn't have to skip trace. You didn't have to, even invest in Propstream right now, right? All you had to do was call these different counties. That's all you had to do. And now you're making money. So this is actually for those people that work a 9 to 5 job and want to have a side business. This is how you could make a side business into a main business without having to do the basically everything that I had to do, which is, hire employees, hire this, hire this. Nah, all you really have to do is become good at speaking to people, good at conversations, just like the one I had, good at the sales, closing out the deal, and then being able to teach somebody else how to do that same exact thing that you're doing. So what Tylil is gonna be teaching you guys at 8 p.m. Damn, it's 8:15. Time be ticking, y'all. But what Tylil gonna be teaching y'all at 8 p.m., every Thursday, you could be teaching your employee as you become good at this. This is not an overnight thing. I'm just trying to share with you guys the vision. And the ones that, you know, feel convicted on that vision is going to be the ones that make that happen. And you're making 10, 15, 20,000 with Eli, the year 2027 or 2028 because you stuck to the vision. And guess what? You did not have to build a whole real estate company. Nah, you just build out what you was good at, which is cold calling. You just build out a whole cold calling system within my cold calling system, and now we're cashing out all over the United States. Do y'all see the vision? I hope y'all see it, right? It goes back to the quote. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to be a one-man show, which is okay, right? I'll teach you how to build a one-man show where, you have a land company, but I'm telling you guys, and I've been doing this over the last 4 or 5 years now. It's very challenging dealing, and it's not even just the work, it's the dealing with people. It's very, very challenging when you're paying them on an hourly rate, right? And this is allowing us to do it on a commission basis, but you could also train VAs to become good and put them on the system too. Mustafa, can I get my VA in the dialer program? I would say you have to be in the dialer program first. I don't even think you signed up. And then before that, I would say close a couple deals with me first. Like once you get a couple deals in, then you could be able to put your VA because how do I know if you're good if you haven't closed a deal with me, you know? And that's not like a shot or anything. I'm just letting you know. Like I want that type of process. Let's break some bread together first, and then I want you guys to add on to what we got going on. Because I'm only mentioning this because I know this is like I'm speaking in the future right now. But if you guys know me, right? If you guys been in this program, a lot of stuff that I be researching and looking at is not for now. It's for the future. Like Bitcoin is not for now. It's not gonna be super life. It's not a get rich quick, right? But I'm trying to get rich forever. And that's what I'm looking. I'm looking 5 years from now where I want my life to be. I'm looking at 10 years where I want my life to be. And I feel like if y'all start thinking like that, it would be easier to work with somebody because now you're like, I'm not thinking about just building a company from ground up. I'm thinking about joining a company that's already winning. And now I'm building on top of what's already winning, right? And you do that within real estate, you could have your own company within my company. And it's like a partnership. And my thing is, I'm partnering with all 18 of you guys that are joining this call tonight. All right. So, uh, I feel like I talked a lot. I got a headache. So, I'm going to leave it at that. But if you do want to join the program, like I said, the link is in the academy. I'll post it again in the academy. Like I want as many of you guys that is possible, especially if you closed a couple deals with me in the past. You should definitely be back on the dialer with me. And I want a couple of you guys to do this, what I showed you guys tonight, reaching out to the buyer's agent, getting those criterias, and then utilizing that. So I'll talk to you guys
Hey,
this weekend and we'll go from there. All right.
Elijah, before you break, bro, I got a question for you.
All right. As
Hey,
long as it's a quick question.
it's a quick question. Hey, I know we took the numbers the last time. Is it possible for me to change it to my business line? I was unprepared the first time. I had just joined, so I just gave you my personal. But if it's cool, I'm gonna get a business line for the cold call.
Do you have it already?
Nah, I'm gonna go and grab it if it's cool with you. I know you said
Yeah,
you
no,
wasn't
that's
sure.
that's cool.
All right, I'm gonna
We'll
DM you.
yeah, just don't DM me. I don't answer DMs on Discord. Just hit me up on Discord. And then if I'm free, we could set up a quick call. And then
Okay.
from there, I'll just call you
All
and
right.
we'll get you on to Mojo with that number. And that's for everybody because I know I gave you guys to join the Mojo. It was your regular phone number. So if you do want to get a different number and stuff like that, we could do that as well. We just don't provide that. So if you wanted to get like a toll-free number or a local number to whatever area that you're focused on, we could do that. Like I said, you would just have to like hit me up and stuff. But I want, like I said, I want this to be filled. I want every single one of y'all on here. Like, let's make some money together, y'all. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all have a good night. Post this recording tomorrow, and the affiliate program is still going. We added a lot within the group. You know, the Saturday calls, the dialed in program. These are more selling points for y'all to get more people into the academy as well. You know, Melissa. I paid Melissa. She's not even in the academy no more. She's still getting paid. You know, she got two of you guys into the group. So, like, for the new people, we do have an affiliate program for every person you get to sign up under your link in the academy. And it's a 14-day free trial as well, which is a selling point for you guys. But you will get $20 a month per person. So if you get, you know, five people or, you know, four people, that's $80 a month. Five people, that's $100 a month. My bad. So let's stack up because that money is recurring. That's what is that? 1,000 what's it, $100 a month, that's 100,000 Satoshis a month. So that's money that you could immediately just be buying Satoshis. Remember, the goal for each one of us is to get to 1,000,000 Satoshis, which is $1,000. That's the goal. Put that in a ledger or keep it on the exchange for a little bit until you learn how to use the ledger. That's going to be your retirement, basically, or your kids' college tuition in 10, 15 years. So, and then on top of that, just keep on building. But we'll leave that for the crypto call next Tuesday or the following Tuesday. But y'all have a good night. I hope y'all rewatch this video. I hope you guys join the Dialed In program if you have the money to invest, if you have the time to hustle. If you really want to make this into a business and a side hustle where you're actually making money from checks, I would say join us, and then also provide us buyers criteria to my ClickUp. Look on Realtors, on Redfin, and let's make some money together. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Good night.